Good warm day today. Got a lot of situations in. A 4 minute, 2 minute, 2 minute before the half. Get the ball back. I mean, third down, red zone, red zone. Got a lot of things done as far as process of situations and things we had, and get a look at on film and good teaching tape and go from there. But still, getting through the dog days of camp, you got to see who's motivated, who can grind through and continue to execute and build our mental toughness. And that's the process we're in right now. Questions?
When you're looking and evaluating those things like mental toughness, what are those things that you look for? Is it
execution, line up, run the play, run it right, make a play when you're tired, bruised, sore, and the game's on the line. Every day. Mental toughness. No matter what the situation, you get the job done.
So let's say you see that from a guy. What's your reaction when you don't see it?
I want to put him in the game. I'm going to tell the other guy, if he's not going to play, he's not going to play. I mean, that's what you got to find out right. You're really going to find out about your team right now. We can have we'll be up the week before the game, we'll be up the week of practice. Now you're going to find out what habits we will rely on, whether good or bad, and we'll see.
Does that usually come from the older guys, having been through it before?
I know, I say that, but I saw a lot of young guys can do it too. I mean, you'd think that would be the case, but that's not always the case anymore. I mean, young guys come in hungry. Sometimes they're even more hungry than the older guys, so we'll see. I mean, hopefully both. Hopefully both groups will get it.
Is Davian Johnson dealing with the injury?
Yeah, Bavion is.
In general, are you seeing those positive signs from the team?
At times. I mean, you have them and you don't. You have them and you don't. You have them and you don't. You got to grind through. You got to grind through them. You got to challenge them and push to that limit. They're getting pushed to the brink right now. They got to find out who they are.
Do you feel like you have to coach effort with this bunch, or in general, do you feel like
you always got to coach intensity and effort on everything you do because you got to demand it. You don't ask for it. I mean, and when it gets like this, guys, that's their natural thing not to do. But hopefully we won't. I don't know. I'll look at the film and see today. It seemed pretty good. The intensity, the tempo of it. But we'll see. When you really watch the film, you can judge how they totally finish plays when they're out of your vision and things.
With how's Keith Gavin kind of taking on this role where he's going to?
I've been tickled to death with Keith. There's a warrior. So my guy, no matter what hurts, what plays, you got to make him. He would run himself till his legs fell off. He would play till his shoulders fell out. He would play till his arms fell off. I mean, I take a zillion Keith Gavin. I'll take a zillion of them.
He said during media day that he didn't want to make that one goal play, be the highlight or be the only thing that he's remembered. But I'm sure you too. How's he kind of taking on this role if he's going to be a starter this year and have a lot bigger role?
I think he's doing a really good job. I think he works. He comes to work every day. Now, I ain't saying he's perfect every day. Nobody is. But he comes to work every day with a tremendous attitude and a great work ethic, and all he says is yes sir, no sir. Love Keith. I mean, you can't get enough of him.
When you have a kid like that who he has that one moment against Michigan, how do you get them to understand it's more than just that one moment?
Give him opportunity. He understands that. He's got to get the opportunities, and he's got to learn what to do, how to do it, and those things. And I've been extremely happy with what he's doing right now.
What was it like, kind of just, I guess, laughing about the Orange Bowl return after it all happened? Pretty sure, you probably were kind of surprised with him at first, kind of doing it, or
no. I mean, that's what he should have done. He was supposed to bring it out right there. I mean, he did exactly what he was coached to do.
You had the music blaring during practice today. So what's the reason behind that?
No. We've done that a lot at different times in practice and things. I mean, sometimes just hear the music.
Who picks the playlist?
Nobody. We just play whatever.
Saw Trey Marshall with a cast on his hand.
No, he didn't have a cast. He may have some tape or something on. He ain't got a cast.
Anything wrong with his fingers?
He's fine. He'll be good. They all got bumps and bruises now.
Yeah. What was that, baby?
You've been 3 weeks in, huh?
What was baby?
Back to the injury. When we find out everything, we'll know. I'll let you know.
Coach, you're still a couple weeks out. I mean, did you treat this opener like any other game, or is it hard to kind of downplay?
No, you feel like any other game. At the end of the day, it's one win, one loss. But you know the caliber of the opponent. Just like last year we had Ole Miss, who people forget was ranked 11th and had a heck of a team. Think if Ole Miss wins the game against us when they got the big lead and wins the game when they're up on Alabama, they were up the same way on Alabama. They win those 2 games. How does that change? You know what I'm saying? Change their season. I mean, that could have been dramatic. I mean, both of us came back on them, so we played good teams. But you know the urgency to play well. But at the end of the day, it's still one game. You got a whole season to play. We got ULM, Miami, all of our rivals in NC State, Wake in the beginning, and you still got Clemson, Duke, all the rest of the conference floor. I mean, you can't get caught up in one game. But every game is very important.
You see a lot of urgency with players between plays?
I can't remember. Urgency what?
Do you see a lot of urgency with the players between plays when they have offense?
For the most part, sometimes, but you always got. I mean, you got to coach that all the time. Because they're thinking so much. They're thinking and grinding. You got to learn to just fly and think on the run. You know what I mean? We're constantly pushing that tempo for conditioning and for mental conditioning. And understand how fast that thing can turn over. You got to process that last play. The most important thing in the world is the next play. You got to go to the next play and get that process. And that's always, you're always coaching that. And I don't care how good your team is, how experienced it is. You're always coaching that. You're always coaching that philosophy.
Earlier when you were talking about the dog days and whatnot, I mean, do you ever kind of notice that maybe guys are getting a little intense and things get chippy? Do guys maybe not listen as much?
You do. You don't sleep well. You've been tired. You've been going at it 50. I mean, that's human nature. That's when you find out. Can you keep your poise? Can you still think? Can you function? Can you process? Can you kill play at the same level as when you were fresh? I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, that's the whole point. You got to take people to where they haven't been, and then find out how they can. And that's the only way you can get them to respond and know who they are.
And how was it some of the younger guys adapted to it? I mean, for these freshmen, yes, they've been coached, but they probably never had anyone to fight on them like this.
No. Well, I don't know. I wasn't in any of their high school practice. I mean, sometimes you do. Sometimes those high school coaches are tough, but they're adapting. I mean, they make mistakes. They jump right back in.
Derek Nottie said that, he's not really much of a vocal leader. If he hears something, he likes to kind of interject sometimes. But without DeMarcus here, how have you kind of seen him kind of take a leadership role in that defense?
Oh, just wait, plays. I mean, now there's a guy who comes to work every day, plays hard every day. No matter if he's tired, he's sore, whatever it is. I mean, the maturity of knowing how to practice and how to play. I mean, all you got to do is watch him. I mean, he's a phenomenal kid too. I love him. I love Derek Nottie. Like I say, he does. And when he does say something, it'll be then he'll have 3 words and then it'll be over with and move on.
He's somebody that players they see his output and
they know if he speaks up, something must really bother him, because Derek is handles his own business, but Derek, you always know Derek's going to do this. What's right? Whatever's right, Derek does.
But did Keith practice that way last year too, or is it something he's growing?
No, he's knowing what to do, how to do it. See, you don't realize, it even ain't assignments, just being accustomed to the tempo of practice, that, hey, sometimes those guys, hey, I'm at Florida State, I'm here. It takes guys different amounts of time. I mean, to overwhelm and see at some of these big programs that I am here, and then, do I really belong? You know what I'm saying? I mean, just a confidence thing, and that just comes in time and comfort from knowing what to do, how to do it. And he's always worked hard, and it wasn't that time last year. We did, so we got him on special teams and things like that. And now he knows he can do it. He's just maturing and working, and he was hurt some too. See, he was hurt last year at times. I mean, he missed practice time. When you're young and you miss practice time, man, that really sets you back.
Is it important at all to get a local kid like Keith Gamford? He's down the road and had a lot of people after him. Does it matter at all?
Yeah, I mean, you want to get the best players. We thought Keith was as good players anywhere in America. Now, whether he was from McCullough or from Timbuktu, but it's great that you keep your local guys here that you want to keep, and you recruit. And we love recruit the local guys, but we got to get the right guys that we think can win championships. And he was definitely that, and we were blessed to get him. I know we was in a battle for him.
Jimbo, kind of a crazy question.
Imagine that.
How does karate help an offensive lineman?
Helps the defensive lineman. What are you doing? What are they doing? Putting hands on guys, removing hands, winning the hand battle. Everybody talk about who wins the hand battle is as important as who wins where you got to step, hat placement, and get your hands inside. If that guy's you got to replace them inside. You got to learn to shoot your hands. When he pins your hands, they armbar or they do all their pass rush stuff, knocking them off, knocking them up, they lose their balance. And it's just as important for a defensive lineman. Here, an offensive lineman is a DB. A defensive lineman is a receiver. Now figure out what I'm saying. You understand what I mean? They're all doing the same thing. Hand move. What's a defensive guy trying to do? Stop a guy from beating. What's an offensive lineman trying to do? Stop a guy. Him and DBs are similar. All right, what's a receiver trying to do? Release against press and beat the guy down the field. What's a defensive lineman trying to do? Beat the guy in front of him and get. It's the same thing. So all those guys and their hand movements, karate, balance, it's really the same teaching all the way across the board, just doing it in different positions.
Helps to have a black
It's actually backwards too when you think about it.
Kind of helps to have a black belt on your offensive line.
Yeah. No, you got to make sure they can teach. But it does matter. Hand placement, man, is whoever controls the hand, the inside of the hands, and all that. That's as important. I mean, you got steps and hat placement and hands on offensive line, defensive line, but same thing at receiver, same thing at corner, all those types of things.
Jimbo, you had Ryan Leaf in earlier this week to talk to the team. When you're choosing guys for the preseason, do you talk to other players or teams, or how do you line them up?
What I want our guys to understand. I mean, if the guy's a good speaker or not, but what guy can send a message that I want to set. And it's about not just ball, it's about getting ready for life. This is all, I mean, balls is just a small part. If you can do this and do the same traits and create the same habits, then you're going to be a great husband, you're going to be a great father, you're going to be a great in the job you have. It's all the same qualities, and about the successes, the failures, how you handle it, how you deal with success, how you deal with failure, the pitfalls out there, the landmines out there. So these kids are ready for life. They're all life teaching lessons, every one of them. We try to hit so many different facets and things that guys have to, in other words, they're going to be exposed to now and in the next rest of their life.
Have you ever had players come up and say one of these has resonated more than others?
Oh, you do it all the time. I mean, when a speaker comes in, you bring in like 12, 15, 16 speakers like we do. If each of them get 5 to 8% of the group every time they speak, you cover the whole group. It's like if I speak, some of y'all may not listen. If somebody else speaks, you may listen. Some of y'all may listen. I mean, it's like we all resonate with different people or hit different things in your life because everybody has different backgrounds, different creeds, different religions, different races, different whatever. You know what I'm saying? And life experiences. So each guy here resonates with different people. And yeah, some guys migrate to this guy, some guys migrate to that guy, some guys, that hit home for me. You know, and that's why I say, why do you think one person doesn't teach every class? Why you get a math teacher, science teacher? The principal runs everything. Different teachers can resonate with different people. You remember you have a favorite teacher in college, in high school, or a favorite teacher in college that you like better, that you could just understand better? That's the same way, it's the same philosophy with this. Just trying to get them to reach all the guys on our team and help them become better people. But without doubt, there's no doubt. I mean, different guys relate to different guys that speak. About life experiences, whatever it may be. Good.